So the first time we invited Insoo, we just didn't know what to expect. And there comes this little Asian woman, very friendly. In the beginning, when I got her from the airport, almost shy. And then she opens this workshop, and then atomic power. Insoo was a person that could give the best workshops I've ever seen. I mean, I've been into a few workshops in my life. But she just stepped up and something happened. Yeah, and it's not a wow, but that's a gimmick. Yeah, but it was, in contrast to Steve, it was like immediate rapport, like boom. Yeah, so that she was a very curious, played curiosity towards clients, so that clients, when you did a role play with her, yeah, which we sometimes had to do because by lack of real patience in trainings, you had this feeling like immediately she looked you in the eye and yeah, you knew she's totally interested in me. So that was, yeah, it's very strange. She was very much more into using the therapeutic relationship as a way of moving things forward. Yeah, she was very much into giving compliments, finding, as she always said, always address a person in his or her resources first. For me, that's the hologram of who Insoo was in her work, but also in her life. Yeah, she did the same. And then, and she really took a lot of leadership in sessions. So she showed me, what I learned from her is, when you do a workshop, you're the boss. You cannot be bossy, but you're the boss. You have to take leadership. Yeah, Steve sometimes took leadership by opening a workshop, sitting on a table, wiggling his feet, looking at everybody, and then after the 5 minutes, asking questions. And then sometimes in the beginning people got mad at him. Yeah, that never happened with Insoo. Insoo stepped and she took full responsibility of what happened. She did that with clients, with families, with workshops. That was I really learned a lot of that. That you are allowed to do that. Yeah. There is this myth that you cannot be directive in solution focused. There is this myth that it's the client who knows the best. I mean, this is just a word logo that needs explanation. Otherwise, people think strange things, and people say, "Oh, but the client really knows best," which is not true. Otherwise, he or she would not be a client. Yeah, but it's not so that we know best, but we, the client and the therapist together, we know. Not best, but better. Yeah. And Insoo could do that in a way that it was impossible to refuse to go along with her. But in daily life, she was the boss. Yeah, we called her the boss. Yeah. I was much closer to Insoo also. I did a lot of workshops together with Insoo. She allowed me to do that because I was then already very interested in coaching and working with companies. I had a practice as a family business consultant, coach, what have you. And Steve, actually it was Steve who told Insoo, "You work with Louis. You know our stuff and he knows business." So that's how it came that we did workshops together. The day she died, I think the world stood still. I mean, the day Steve died, everybody knew Steve was a very sick man. Yeah, and he kept traveling and traveling. So he died in harness, as they say. And then Insoo did all the workshops that were already ordered for Steve to do. and then it's how it really happened. The week after, she was home in Saskatoon or something, well, in Milwaukee, and then she died. She just died in the sauna. It was like, this, it's not possible. I mean, she was really, really atomic energy driven. Yeah. But she could do workshops. She could touch people in their heart like that. And she was very professional, she could boss other people to become their own bosses. Not being bossy. No, she was not bossy, but she was the kind of leadership that made other people into leaders of their own lives. That was impressive. She was a pharmacist. She comes from South Korea, and Korean War, beginning of the 50s, and her father had I think a wholesale, and they even made some medication stuff. Not big pharma, but this kind of natural, yeah. And they were well enough to do so that the family said, listen, we have a war in Korea, go abroad and study. And she was supposed to study pharmacy. Actually, as a matter of fact, she was enrolled in the pharmaceutical faculty, but she was not very interested in. So she was Roman Catholic. Can you imagine that? Yes, well, in her youth. So she was. Imagine this girl from South Korea. I don't know what she was, 18, 19 years old, all the way to United States of America, her country in a war, and then refusing to do like Daddy did.